My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I do apologise, it's been a few days in between videos. The reason for that is I've been on jury service. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, I wasn't actually selected to serve as a juror on a case, because of the current restrictions, shall we say, around the planet, especially in this country, which are soon to be coming to an end anyway. There weren't that many trials, there was only one. I wasn't selected, so despite waiting around in the courthouse for several days, doing not a lot, in the end I was just sent home and told that we were no longer required. So, back on it now, thankfully, and able to start recording once again. So, we are currently sat on one of the mountains, or large hills, I suppose is a better term for them, across the river, looking towards Gillingham. Now, if you cast your mind back to the previous episode, which I actually recorded about 2 weeks ago now, I tend to bank them up and then release them almost on a daily basis where possible. But yes, if you cast your mind back to the previous episode, one thing we were looking at is Gillingham, and we were going to look at the public transport in Gillingham because it's still got its original setup, and the city has grown quite considerably since that point, and the setup that we did put in is no longer fit for service. We also noticed there was a lot of traffic between Bridport and Gillingham on the road, and we upgraded that and set up a express tram service. Unfortunately, despite running the game in the background a little, with the date paused, that hasn't had the effect I would like, and the traffic is still there, and it's starting to affect deliveries into both cities, as the trucks can't get through to their unload points cleanly without getting stuck in all the traffic. The residential traffic, if you know what I mean, between the two cities. Now, the reason I think there's not been much uptake on the express tram service is because once they get off the tram in Gillingham, they're very limited where they can go in terms of transportation from there onwards, because the existing interlink isn't very good. So if they wanted to go to the outskirts of Gillingham, for example, the bus service may not get them there from the interchange, so instead they decide to take their cars. So to try and alleviate the traffic somewhat, I'm going to go ahead and improve Gillingham's inner-city transport system by putting in some extra bus routes around the city to give it much better coverage to all corners of the city, and hopefully that will make the changes we need and see some of the private transport disappear and people opt for the public transport instead. Also off camera, I did go ahead and upgrade and change out a lot of the wagons that we had on our line, because as you know, at the end of the last episode we unlocked the higher speed, higher capacity freight wagons, so they've all now been changed. I've not done any line monitoring yet to see if I've done too much or too little, because I did run a few services shorter than they were previously when I upgraded them off camera, so we'll have to see if I've underdone it or overdone it, but time will tell in that respect. So let's bring up the UI. We're in 1951, in October. We have 500 million sat in the bank, which is pleasing, because obviously I spent a small fortune upgrading all the trains and the wagons that we have on the map at the moment. So let's crack on, let's head over to Gillingham. This is where we want to focus our attention for this episode. As you can see, we have a very small and insufficient public transport system for this city. And here is the backlog of traffic I was mentioning. As you can see, despite having high capacity roads, it still snakes all the way back into Bridport. And here we can see, because of the traffic, the backlog is being pushed back all through the city, and this is affecting our buses, and it was affecting our deliveries into Bridport as well. However, I did reroute them somewhat, and that seems to have solved that problem. However, it's not solved this problem. This isn't good enough, and we need to see if we can fix it. One other thing I did do off camera, just to try and take some of the pressure off this road, is put in an express service between Bridport and Gillingham. I don't think we have any of the trains currently in shot. They're only small. They're designed to be high speed rather than high capacity. Let's see if we can just spot one of them here. Here's one. There's only 2 running the line. As you can see, they're not the largest trains in the world. Currently not making any money, but again, if the passengers, once they get off, can't get to their final destination without a car, then they're not going to bother with these trains in the first place. What I've also done is just rerouted these Stockton and Boston trains somewhat, so now they come into a dedicated platform, and that should help some of the backlog here, because we did have high numbers for, I think it was Stockton, no, yes, it was for the Stockton service. As you can see, they've been eaten up now, which is excellent, and the people are on their onward journeys. Likewise, we can also see we have traffic starting to build up towards Boston and to Stockton. Once again, that's likely because if they do opt to take the train, they can get onto the bus or the tram here. But if they can't get to, say, this industrial building because this stop doesn't cover it, then they're not going to bother with the train. They're just going to drive in and make their own way there. So let's see then if we can't sort out this transport system in Boston. If we just, yes, we do have the visible lines only highlighted. As you can see, we only have 2 intercity systems set up. Metro 01, Metro 02. Oh, what do we have here? The Lockheed Super Constellation L1049 and the 1049DH. Take a look at them a little bit later. For now, we really need to get Gillingham sorted out. So let's see what we can do in terms of setting up a better transport system. Right, we want buildings. We have some new modded buildings unlocked as well. We can take a look at those a little bit later. For now, we want to stick to the basics, which is the bus tram stop, which we have here. Now, we did put in this interchange in the centre of Gillingham in the last episode as well. So this is going to form the hub for our new bus routes. And now it's just a case of how do we want to do it. If we have the camera in this sort of angle, we tend to have a sort of 4-way split. We could have a bus route covering this industrial and commercial sector here, one which covers the right hand side, one to the south in this large residential zone, and then one over to the left which will cover this section here, kind of like we did in Coventry, and then all 4 lines would converge into the centre where the passengers can swap over and go where they need to go. We obviously have a link between the centre and Gillingham train station already, I believe. I do think we routed our trams in this way. No, we didn't. So one thing we probably do want to do is rerun these lines, so these also include Gillingham Central Exchange on their service, so the passengers can get off the train station and onto a bus and out to where they need to go. Likewise in reverse. That's the door. Okay, I do apologise for that. That was a delivery at the door. So let's see about setting or rerouting our metro systems to incorporate this central exchange here. If we just pause the game, and that way we can do it with a bit of freedom without having to worry about the clock ticking by. Let's get up the line manager. We only want the visible lines if possible. There we go. So Metro 01, you come down this way, you go into this stop here. So I believe the best solution for you, I don't know what he's doing there, we'll change that in a second, is after Victoria Road, if you drop into here, head on back out and then head to Springfield Road. Let's see what sort of route he sets for himself there if we do it using the AI. Okay, he's looping in the exchange, which is something I prefer to avoid where possible. So to that end, if we send him to that waypoint, and then out and then down to this waypoint. Okay, this isn't electrified, I believe. No, it isn't. So we will have to upgrade that now. Electric. Keep the bus lane if you have one. I don't believe you do, so that's okay. And I also don't believe that this road here is electrified. Indeed it is not, so we shall also sort that out. Likewise, this road here. This is electrified. This is not, so we'll quickly do these ones as well. Not sure if any of our trams want to use these, but if they were planning on it, they now can. Let's see what's that done for Metro 01. Yep, he's now coming back down this way and on his way, which is much cleaner. It has also addressed the turnaround that the Intercity Metro was doing. It is now heading out this way, which is a lot cleaner as well. Now let's look up Metro 02, go to Manage Line. I think the best time for you to come into here would be if you come in perhaps after North Road. Where's North Road? There it is. Okay, so you're opting to come this way. I wonder, yes, if we electrify this little road here, maybe that will route him a better way. Yes, it is. In, straight out, and on his way. That's excellent. So now the existing metros in Gillingham incorporate the exchange, which is what we want. So let's go ahead now and press on and get some bus lines set up. So this is going to be stop number 1. And if we say we'll head to this top corner here first of all, so we can come out this way. And we'll just have him loop around this industrial sector here, and then we'll head him onto this this residential area down here. You can stop on the main road. There is a bus lane on this road, so that's okay. You're not going to interfere with too much traffic because there's a bus. I think there's a bus lane. There should be. Yes, there is. There we go. Do we want to reverse that as well? For now, perhaps not. We'll have it one way, so to speak. We can always reverse it later on if we feel it's necessary. So let's go ahead and add a bus line. We have turquoise, green and blue. So if we go for red, that'll keep it nice and distinguished. And it won't cause me to get highly confused by similar colours. So that happens more than I'd care to admit. Okay, so you're opting to share this platform here. Yes, you are. Let's move you. What would you do if we went to Terminal 4? Okay, that's doing some very nasty sort of turnarounds there. So, if after your final stop, which is Grange Road, you come up here. There we go. That's got a better sort of in and out to it. Yeah, it kind of doubles back on itself a little bit, but it should keep things a bit more freely flowing through the exchange itself. So let's name this line up. This is Bus Service 01 Gillingham. There we go. Perfect. Do we have a road depot in... Let's just unpause the game. We do not, but we have one out here. We can use this one. There's no harm in that. Passenger, we will have the twin coach, I believe. Yes. And if we say we'll have 6 for now, do the maintenance and the colours and then put them on their new line. So this is this sort of area taken care of. We'll do the same now for this area here. Nice and quickly, same sort of system as before, but obviously heading out a different direction. Something like this should do quite nicely. Head down. Okay, we don't want to go down there because we have an unload point. So we don't want the buses and the trucks to be interrupting one another's deliveries. So we'll send them down this way and back up this way instead. Again, new line. Try and get a different colour here. We'll go for black. And you are heading out this way. And then you can head down this way. Yep, this is the way we wanted him to go. And you can even share that stop there. That isn't too much of an issue. Again, you have decided to share a platform there, which I'd rather you didn't if we could avoid that. So let's go to the exchange, go to the terminal. What do you do if I put you onto platform 3? Okay, so you're coming in there, going around, then back out that way. Okay, so if after Victoria Road, you say went there, yes, that's fine. But you're not on platform. Why did you change your terminal? Okay. Right, number 4. So either way, you're going to be looping around inside the station. I would prefer they didn't, but I don't think there's any way to avoid that at this time because of the in-out setup we have. So instead we'll have to live with that. However, we can send him a little bit around the houses. Why? Oh, yes, okay. No. I picked the wrong waypoint. I want it on that side there. There we go. So put him back onto Terminal 3. I wish he wouldn't change terminal. Oh my, that just made it a lot worse. Okay, do that. Yes, you're looping, but it's better than what it did previously. So let's name this as Bus Service 02 Gillingham, and then we can get the buses and assign them to the line and get them on their way. Excellent. Go back to our depot. Again, we'll go for 6, like so. Get all the little bits and bobs set up, and that's that taken care of. So now we have 2 bus services, one up here and one up here. How many spare platforms do we have now? I think we only have the 1. Indeed we do. So what I may have to do is do an extended line and have him do the entire... What direction is that? That is west. The western portion of the city on his own should be okay. If nothing else, it is going to be better than what he does at the service at present, so I can live with that. We'll head him out this way, and then he can come down here and get a decent coverage on this section of the city. Just zoom out so I can get a broader picture of how our coverage is looking. You can come up with that way, I suppose. Yes. So again, this is quite a lengthy sort of bus route, but it should at least alleviate some of the problems. What colour do we want? I'm going to say we have, let me think, pink. Pink will do. And we'll just start it there because why the heck not? Yes, you've done the right thing there. I think this is the way I was intending him to go. I'll be honest, I can't quite remember. Here we go. Yes. Okay, yep. I'm back on it now. I know where I am now. Got a little bit confused as to where I'd originally planned for him to go, but it seems to have done a decent enough job there. In the station, you're doing something bizarre. The only free platform is terminal number 3, so we'll send you there. You're looping around, but as we saw with this black line, that's probably unavoidable, and that's just something I think I'm gonna have to live with, but that's okay. I can live with it. I think we'll see how it goes anyway. Name him up, Bus Service 03 Gillingham, and then we can see what sort of impact this has on the traffic in and out of Gillingham, and what sort of uptake we're going to see on these buses. Let's go ahead, get this. We'll go for 10 because it's a longer line than the other 2 that we set up. So having a few more buses probably won't hurt too much. Colour them in, put them on the line, away they go. Okay, so time will tell whether that's alleviated our problems in Gillingham. Hopefully it has. Another thing we could do today... Oh, we had the train. The plane unlocks. Let's go ahead and check those out. Talk about swapping my train of thought halfway through a sentence, but there you go. Let's just do a comparison here. What are you flying at the moment? The Douglas DC-4, which carries 15 and flies at 226 miles per hour. You carry 19 and fly a lot faster. You also load a lot faster, and you're ever so slightly quieter than the Douglas DC-4, but you are about 400,000 pounds a year more expensive. However, these lines are very profitable. Just check that's the same with the Quintrell Downs airline. Yes, so I think we can absorb the extra cost of the new aircraft. So we'll go ahead and replace them to the Lockheed Super Constellation L1049. £40 million is the price tag for that. Big aircraft is incompatible with small airport. Okie dokie. Can we... Okay, so that's a large airport. Can we upgrade this one to a larger airport? No, we cannot. So we're going to have to redo the airports. This is vehicle in the way. Okay, that's quite annoying. So I believe we should be able to demolish this airport now, yes. And let's hope that we have the space for a large airport here. Passenger airport. 2 terminals. Landing, I don't really care about the landing direction. Okay, this is bigger than I thought it was gonna be. And there's nowhere we could fit it in. We could do it there, I think maybe, but we'd have to reroute our trams in Coventry and the buses. So let's just stick to the small airfield instead. That's annoying. Okay, so the lines have reassigned themselves to the new quote-unquote airport, which is excellent. You can now go back to where you were headed, and things should have picked... Yes, they've reassigned themselves. That's no problem. Not too much drama caused there. It's a shame we couldn't fit in a large airport because of this train station and this iron ore mine. Obviously, we can't get rid of those because we do use those for our steel mill. What's going on here? We have a bit... Is this just people waiting? Yes, it's just traffic light build up there. We'll come back to that. It might be worth having a 6-lane road rather than a 2-lane road there. Something to bear in mind. Didn't mean to pause it. I do apologise for that. Let's move on to Bridport and have a quick look how we're looking here. Obviously, we've still got this traffic issue from Gillingham to Bridport. I'm not sure yet if the new buses have had any impact on that. That is just going to be a case of wait and see. Hopefully it should encourage people to use the public transport system more, because they can now get into the city, into a greater portion of the city, so they don't have to walk for 8 miles to get from the train station or the interchange to where they need to go. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if it has the effect I hope it will have. If it doesn't, then Gillingham may just be snookered, unfortunately. Over in Petersfield, again, we have large swathes of city that are no longer covered by the existing public transport system, so Petersfield is probably going to need the same sort of treatment that Gillingham has just seen. However, I think we'll save that for a future episode. At the minute, I'm just wanting to take a stock check of where we are. Haywood doesn't look too bad, but it's still only a fairly small city. That's the same for Quintrell Downs and Weybridge. And Ulverston, although the train station for the Western Main Line is rather busy. How many trains do we have on the main line? We have 4. They're profitable-ish, not the best, so perhaps adding more to that line isn't the solution at the moment. Let's move on towards Derby and Macclesfield. Macclesfield, in terms of the city and traffic, looks okay. Derby, obviously we did revamp Derby's public transport system not too long ago. It seems to be coping okay. There's not much traffic build-up anyway. We do have a lot of traffic heading into the city, however, but I think a lot of this backlog is just caused by the wait time for the traffic lights at these sets of junctions here. So perhaps rerouting that is an option in the not too distant future. We've checked Gillingham. Bridport is okay-ish. Obviously it's been affected by this traffic, so hopefully in the future that will sort itself out. Boston and Stockton's grown quite considerably, but the traffic isn't too bad. Heading into Boston, it is building up on this road here, but again, I think it's this junction that's causing the main issues. We do have a lot of traffic here, but that is because they're currently waiting for the trains to pass at the level crossing. Perhaps we'll put a tunnel in for this road in the not too distant future as well. Let's head down towards Coventry now. See how Coventry is performing since we reworked the entire transport system here. We have a traffic jam here, but I think they were just waiting for a green light at this crossing. Yes, that seems to be the case there, so that's okay. That was only a temporary hiccup, not something that really needs addressing. The traffic in Coventry looks pretty good. A little busy round here on this main stretch, but that's to be expected. This is the main access through the city, especially between the train station, the central interchange and the airport. Let's press on then to Bridgewater. That needs some attention, much like Macclesfield. Not Macclesfield, I do apologise. Petersfield. Stoke's fine. That's remained a fairly small city and things seem to be coping okay there. And then last but not least, we also have Morley, which also had its public transport system revamped quite recently. And that seems to be handling its own there. Okay, so, we have a lot of build-up of ships here. What's causing the slowdown here? Is it just the production rate, or is it the frequency of the stone deliveries? I don't think it's a frequency issue. After all, it's being topped up without hitting 0, and the trucks are pretty nicely spread out for the most part. So I think it's just a production hold up there. Now, obviously, the ships can apparently just phase through one another, so while it looks nasty to watch that sort of thing happen, it's not actually affecting any other ships in the area, which is good in one respect, but it's not ideal because obviously our ships are just clipping through one another, which they really shouldn't. I think we've got too many ships on these lines, so let's just go ahead. And some of these ships that are in the traffic queue here can be sold because they're clearly not needed. The platforms are running pretty much empty. Obviously, if you do remember, we also upgraded our ships in the previous episode, and it could be that the high capacity ships have oversaturated the line and we have far too many now, so we'll get rid of some. And just keep an eye on that, see what it does. We had other shipping lines as well. These will just drop off, so we shouldn't see a build up there. This one looks okay. It has a full platform and there's no traffic waiting there. That's just a drop off. This looks... oh, here it is. This looks okay here. Ran out of fuel, or I should say ran out of refined oil. Where is our oil shipping delivery line? Let's just have a look. What's the frequency? Every 6 minutes. It could well be that there's a delay over here. Yes, they aren't clearing these platforms fast enough. I was reading that backwards, so to speak. So let's go ahead and do that. We don't want airlines. We want all, but only what we can see. So 10 vehicles in total. Let's do it. We'll do them one at a time. So we'll go from 5 to 10. Bit of a slow down there. That was nasty. And the refined oil will go from 5 to 10. Again, a bit of lag. Not really surprising given how active the map is, but it does concern me somewhat. How are we doing at this dock here? Pretty free flowing. Likewise, there's no build up there. What line? The Quintrell Downs crude oil shipping line has a full platform. We do have a ship just about to make dock, however, so I'm not sure if now is the time to add more ships onto that. That should be reasonably okay, but we can keep an eye on it. Again, this traffic seems to have not been alleviated. That is very steep. My word, that's a little bit ridiculous. We can fix that quickly. It's demolish that, that, and that, and that. Yes, I know you're not going to be happy. That's okay. It'll be worth it in a few moments when I've redone you. Streets, country streets, extra large, electric and bus lane. And then connect from there to there. That gives you a much gentler gradient. And then from here, we'll come off straight. And put you in like that. Is that... Oh, that's still... It's not as bad as it was, I suppose. That'll do. I just didn't want the two junctions too close to each other. Wanted to give the traffic time to get through. Let's just pause the date for a moment and we'll accelerate time and we'll just see if this starts to lessen. While we're doing that, we can see, yes, we have literally hundreds of private transport vehicles coming on this stretch of road. Can we get a rough idea where they're heading to in the city? It could well be, you know, that they're heading up to Stockton and Boston. So as an experiment, what we can do here is put it... Well, look, restart the date again. There's no need to keep it paused. We don't want bus lanes or tram tracks on this, but what we could do is at this point here, is if we take a road off up towards there, we have to be mindful of crossing the main lines here. But if we run just past them a little, we could probably avoid any sort of crossover, including bridges or tunnels, by having them go straight onwards. And then connecting a little further up here. We're probably going to want to tunnel under this freight line that we have in front of us. So let's drop him down flat. That should give us a tunnel. Yes, it does. Where do we want him to come out? Out here. Oh, yes, because there's a tunnel there already. That's a problem. Okay, so come out here. Like so. It's quite steep. That's okay. And then connect into there. And then if we upgrade this to a similar sort of road. There we go. Not going to be able to fit it there because it's very close to the train line. But we can do it here, yes. And then all the way down there, yes, because that bridges over the train line. What we could do here is tunnel underneath. So if we just quickly pause it, although I don't think this... No, this does not interrupt any connection. So we can do this with the date... with the game unpaused, I should say. What am I doing? Oh, I've got upgrade tool. That's why I'm getting confused there. So you keep flat. And then we want you to tunnel under, which you do perfectly. And that looks quite nice as well. I'm pleased with that. Come back out. How steep is that? That is very steep. So we'll just move this road back a little. Give him more space to work with so he doesn't have to come out so steeply. That's better, I think. Yes, this'll do. It doesn't look too unnatural. Now, we want to do a similar sort of thing here. We want to get rid of this level crossing, take this road back the ways. In fact, we'll take that one back as well. Take it all back, give us plenty of space to work with. We'll go as far as that junction there. And we want a tunnel underneath, or do we want to... Yes, tunnel underneath. So let's put the tunnel in first. We'll drop the height down. Nope, bit more. Yes. Nice straight tunnel. Connects from there to there. In terms of steepness, how does that look? That's not too bad. And then from there, you want to come out to here. perhaps extend the tunnel a little bit, because that cutting is quite close to the train line there, which is not what we want. Okay, it's going to keep it. Even if I go level, it's going to do the same. Oh, there we go. That's better. Take him to there and then bring him up. Not too steep. Doesn't look too bad. Confirm that. Perfect. Lovely, lovely. Upgrade you. In fact, you could also be upgraded to the 6-lane road as well. Don't know if we have buses or trams running down here, but I'll select keep just in case we do. There we go. And then this road here can come in. We'll have a large junction there. We already have one. We already have one anyway, so there's going to be slow down as it is. So we may as well just make use of it. And then you want to come out this way, head up, parallel with the road, but not tunneling, and then connect into the road there. A bit of a bridge, that's fine. Happy enough with that. I can take that. But we will put an iron bridge in there. Okay, now what we want to look for is, do people start heading up this way? Don't slide like that, sir. Jesus. Or, oh, what do we have here? The Mercedes-Benz 06600, Russian Class P36, British Rail. These are, I don't know, are these, I'm not sure what they are, but that one costs 0, which is weird. And if you look like rail buses, perhaps we can look at them in the next episode. There's probably not enough time to look at them today. What? Were they buses? Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself there. Manage vehicles. We'll have a quick look. Yes. But they're... Oh, they are faster. They're a lot faster. In fact, we'll do that. We'll swap all our buses out. That won't take long. We don't just want the visible ones, however. We do want all buses. So you. Make sure I didn't have anything else selected there by clearing it off. Do we have any other bus? Yes, we have the intercity bus. Is that the lot? The Tool Forge bus. May as well do that one as well. Let's give them the Mercedes-Benz. 85 million to upgrade all those. Not a problem. Set the maintenance. Let's go have a look at these new Mercedes-Benz buses. We'll take a look at the ones in... We're at Gillingham, aren't we? Yes, we are. We'll hop on board this one. It's got the line name on the front there. You could probably depart, sir. There is nobody even close to the bus stop. I guess you're just spacing out or something. There we go. We're on the way. Can we get inside? We certainly can. Just get a little bit lower there. One of the world's smallest drivers there. Oh, I do like the pinstripe on your trousers there. Nice bit of blue piping. I don't want to sit in this bus anymore. That's better. There we are. That's better. We'll sit on top of the bus. Let's hang on the roof. There we go. It's quite a calm and quiet little part of the city, this. What do they say about buses? You wait for one and then 3 turn up at once? Well, there's your proof there. 1, 2, and our own bus there, 3. More buses than they can shake a stick at in Gillingham now. Still got the traffic congestion here. Starting to get a bit concerning that, because I'm not sure what we can do to alleviate it anymore. We've set up dedicated intercity lines. We've improved the public transport system in Gillingham. I've laid in an extra shuttle service on the train line, and still they persist on taking their cars. It wasn't people heading to Boston or Stockton, as we can see, because this road is very quiet, although having a link between the two is probably a decent enough idea in on itself, so we'll keep it in. It wasn't a necessary waste. Perhaps we need some sort of motorway system that runs in this empty space, where each city can connect to the motorway and use that to get between the cities. Could be an option. because at the moment I am just scratching my head as to what else I could try to sort out Gillingham's traffic issue, because it is ridiculous. It stretches back for miles. Well, it stretches back between the two cities. Let's get ourselves a sausage roll and a coffee while we're here. Why not? I wish, like City Skylines, there was a way you could click on. I know you can see where they're going to, but if you could see their route highlighted for you, because that might be a powerful tool to help determine why they're opting to take their private vehicles rather than hop on our transit system. Yeah, it's still, it's still snaking all the way back into Bridport. Snaking all the way up here. I have no idea. No idea. They only seem to be going into Gillingham, though. They're not heading back into Bridport. Strange. No passengers, so that was a complete waste. In fact, we could probably get rid of that line. We have 3 passengers, not making any money. The most we've transported in a year is about 25. In total, we must have transported no more than 150, and this has been going for, what's that, about 10 years. It's probably not worth running this line anymore. It's not done what I hoped it would do. Let's sell the vehicles and we'll scrap that line entirely. So that was a nice waste of time, but it was worth doing, I suppose. It could have worked. Fortunately, it didn't, and we're stuck with this rather unpleasant situation here. Well, we'll end this episode here. It's been a bit of a deflating one. I was hoping to conquer and tackle all this traffic in Gillingham. Not been able to do that, not even close. It's not made a dent, as we can see, which is very disappointing. So we'll have to see what we do next. It really does seem to be only Gillingham what suffers. Oh no, now it's starting here as well. But yeah, everything else seems to be okay. Maybe it's just people are fed up of waiting for 5 years to get on these lines. Maybe I made a mess of the passenger lines and they've just decided not to use them because they can never get on the trains anymore because they're always running to capacity. But yes, I didn't enjoy this episode, but I hope that you guys did. If you have any suggestions, whether that be take this save game file outside and burn it, then let me know. Because at the minute I'm just stuck on this now. I just don't know what to do with this traffic. It's just not getting any better. I think it's maybe even getting close to the end for this save file now, because rectifying this is not something that's looking likely at this point, and it's going to frustrate me. But yes, if you did enjoy it, obviously I'm glad that you did. Still enjoyed making, I enjoyed making it. I always enjoy making the videos. Didn't enjoy the fact that Gillingham is a complete mess and there's just traffic everywhere. But yeah, thanks for watching. All that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, you take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.